Hiya, it's Amanda here from Lolli Lulu Crafts, and today I have something that I know I wasn't going to do because I did promise last week when we did the anniversary card, which we did from a wife to a husband, so a masculine kind of anniversary card, that we would do with the feminine version this week, which would be the husband to the wife. However, I thought it'd be fun to break that up a little bit, so I decided to do a fun gamer card, which I hope is for a young teenager. As I said to you before, I don't have kids, so I'm hoping I'm gauging the kind of age group correctly, so you guys will probably be able to let me know that better than I will know it. But anyway, hopefully irrespective of that, you will enjoy the making of this card. However, one more thing just before we start making the card, I did want to make another apology. It turns out for some reason that my website did not send out the notification, the email notification last week for the video. The video itself had gone up, but the post did not go live. So those of you that are subscribed to my channel through the website would normally receive an email to say that there's a video, and you would get linked to the post and you would see the photos, the video, etc, etc. However, although it was scheduled to go live, it came up with an error message. I thought I corrected it, turned out I hadn't. Anyway, as far as I know, that is now corrected, so you should now get that email if you haven't already. If you thought I'd completely missed last week's video, you will now get that notification, so apologies for that. So fingers crossed this one should work for today. Okay, so enough apologies. Let's get on with the crafting. Okay, as is often the case, I have got a pattern piece of card and I'm going to score down the center. So I've marked where I need to score because it's an A4 piece of card and A5 is a pain. So I score down the middle so that the pattern is on the inside, just to give the inside some interest. I've got two sheets that go really nicely with this design. Then I've got the second sheet and I'm going to place that on the front. Now normally I would cut it in half and just put it on the front, however I wanted that kind of burst in the center. So as you can see, I've kind of put it up and then I'm just gradually sliding it down. That's the advantage of the wet glue, so I can be roughly sure that it's in the right place. If you want to be absolutely sure, you could, I guess, measure it out beforehand, but I wasn't that fussy about it. It was only needing to be rough because I'm going to be putting things over the top, but I just wanted that kind of burst coming out from the center. So then once that's set down, all I'm going to do is take my scissors and cut the excess off. Obviously that means that I've got two pieces rather than one big bit, but it's no big deal. I mean, they're going to work nicely for something in the future, so I will still keep those pieces. As you can see, I'm just very slightly off to the left there, but as I said earlier, it really doesn't matter, and I think it just looks so nice when you open the card, and it's got the same sort of theme. You can see from the images that we've got here that the theme carries on through, and I just think it makes it really cool. Now this is a card obviously for a young boy. As I said at the beginning, he's kind of a young teenager. I'm not even sure if he's actually hit teenagers years. I think he's either 12 or 13, and it's from a grandparent, so I thought it was fabulous that we had the grandson and the happy birthday. So I just fiddled around with it. I wanted to cover up that word win, and so that worked really well. Again, I'm still not got my gel glue. I have ordered some, but normally I personally would prefer to use my gel glue. I just prefer it. Although in this instance, because it's very flat and obvious, it's not a big deal to use the foam. So I'm putting foam across the whole of the grandson and across the whole of that round topper. The square topper is going to go flat to the card. Then the happy birthday is going to go half on the round topper, which is already raised, so we want to put that part as flat glue. So I'm just literally just roughly marking it with pencil just so I can see to make sure I'm putting my foam square in the right place, because in order to match the height of the round topper, obviously I need a foam square on the end that isn't touching it. So then I'm taking off all the backings. I decided to take all the backings off first, and then I remembered I hadn't actually stuck down the flat topper. So I'm just taking my wet glue here. For this, I'm using my Hunky Dory construction glue. I'm really loving this glue. As you know, I've been a Cosmic Shimmer girl for ages, but I'm loving this construction glue. It's so strong. So yeah, I've been definitely using that instead of my Cosmic Shimmer, which I am pretty much nearly out of. So I got a big pack of 6 of the Hunky Dory, and obviously I've got the advantage at the moment being on the design team. I do have a code which gives me discounts, so I'm wanting to be transparent about that, but that isn't the reason I'm saying it's great. I do love it. I wouldn't use it if I didn't. It's not something they've given to me. It was something I decided to purchase and I loved, so I got more. Now, as always, I am putting some wet glue on the back of the foam tapes for 2 reasons. One, I feel like it does help keep them stuck down more for longer. Central heating seems to do awful things to foam tape. And secondly, it just gives me a little bit of movement time. Foam obviously would be an instant stick, whereas obviously with the wet glue you've got a chance to wriggle it around a little bit. Now this is the one that's kind of half and half, so we've got wet glue on one half only and then wet glue on the foam on the other half, and that's why I marked it, because I wanted to make sure I knew which half to put it on. It's really easy to get it the wrong way round actually. When you've turned it upside down, it's like, oh, which way was it meant to be? And then as you can see, I've just put things sort of at the different levels, at jaunty angles. I then thought it still needed something, and I found that I had these great beautiful coloured star brads. However, I had one already stuck that layer of card down. If I hadn't, I perhaps could have put them as brads through that layer and then stuck it down, because personally I don't like the brad coming right through to the back of the card. I personally think it looks not very nice, and there's of course always a risk, whatever age the card's going to, that somebody could catch themselves on that. So I decided, as you saw, to cut the little legs off the brads. It was very simple, it's very soft metal, and then I'm popping just a little foam square into the center of the little star here, then peeling the backings off the foam and adding of course my wet glue. And again, 2 reasons for that. Obviously it's a little bit more sort of weight to this, because you've got the star, although it's light metal, it's still heavier perhaps than a piece of card that you're trying to stick down, and you want to be sure that it stays put. And giving the foam square does give it that height, which is giving it that bit of dimension away from the actual cardstock, so it's just giving a little bit of a pop to them. And I'm just randomly, in inverted commas, popping them down. I actually was looking at the colours on the cardstock, and kind of like the red was at the top there, so I put the red star nearer the bottom. The green kind of was everywhere, and the blue was kind of everywhere, and the yellow I kind of put over to the left, because the yellow was more on to the right. So it was just trying to do that, and then obviously the gold was kind of highlighted on all of the pieces, so again that just sort of fitted nicely in that gap. Then the final kind of thing that I wanted to do, and again, probably if it was me, I would wait till all of the front had dried. But anyway, what I did was I used my gift that I got from Stampin' Up demonstrator, my lovely Stampin' Up demonstrator, of that tape pen, and I have to say I'm really liking it. It's very strong, and I just popped that on the back, put a piece of card on the back just to cover it, and as always to make that weight balance more equal. So the front has got a lot on it, and now the back has that extra bit of weight, so it feels more even. It gives it a much more quality feel, because as I always say, if the back feel, even though it's heavy cardstock, this adorable Scorables 300 GSM, but once you stick a load of stuff on the front, all of a sudden, comparatively, it feels thin, and therefore you lose that quality feel. So if you balance it up, it just makes it feel a lot better. So that is it. That is today's card. I hope you have enjoyed making it with me. I hope you like the finished card, of course. And as always, I would love it if you would subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that little bell and all those things, and lovely thumbs up. The thumbs up is actually a really good thing for me. It tells YouTube that you like the video, and what it then does is it looks at other things that you watch, and it kind of does all these sort of technical things, and it helps then decide to spread the video around to other people. So it really does help sort of me get out there a bit more, so I would be very grateful for that. And of course, don't forget to hop on over to the blog post, use that link down below in the paragraph there, and it will take you to the blog post where there'll be photographs, etc, etc. Okay, and while you're there, you can always subscribe. Okay, so thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again next week for our 2nd anniversary card. All right, bye for now. Bye.